Welcome everyone. You guys know I love to have fun on this channel, and what more fun is Godzilla by the great Blue Oyster Cult. We're in standard tuning. Buck Dharma does some really great licks in this. Not real difficult rhythm. There's a couple little nuances I'm going to point out that kind of add to it. And some things I've seen taught wrong, I feel, because I watched them do a locked down video that's available on YouTube, you know, when we had COVID and all that. And you could see all the guitars, which is really cool about those. There's not one camera on a stage capturing everybody. So anyhow, I worked a lot off of that, although Buck doesn't really do all the same licks there. But with that said, you know, this is honestly a great song you can improvise over, and I'll show you how to do that. So, as always, my notes are right below the video, so you can click on that link and download my tab for this that I wrote out. We're going to go over the rhythm, and then I'll go through the licks as you hear them in the song. But the chords we'll be playing are F sharp, to B and C, and then up to G sharp, and then A. Alright, one of those nuances I want to speak to, especially when you're just playing the rhythm guitar, when you hit the F sharp and then eventually move up to the A, give it just a slight down pull. Alright? Alright, so that gives it just a little bit, it makes your ears pop up a little. It almost sounds like Godzilla coming, right? Alright, after we hit the A, we're going to go back to the 5th fret at D sharp to E. Now I've seen it taught where you go to A and then quickly come back to F sharp. Okay, we're going to still do that, but we're going to play A different way. If you think of an A power chord, it's an A, 5th root, and 4th string 2nd fret, which is an E. So we're going to do the opposite. We're going to play E and A on the 6th and 5th string. All right. Now, if you want, your ear catches that E before A. You can upstrum. Again, a little nuance. So let me go through it. I'll play it down once, and then I'll upstrum the second. You can hear the difference. Okay. Now we'll do it up. So that you hear the A with the E, but the A comes first when you upstrum this open 5th and open 6th string. So again, I don't see him doing that in the lockout video, but I think maybe on the recording they might have done that because it does sound like an A. So those are little things that maybe you feel matter and maybe not. It doesn't matter, frankly. You know, you're playing along with your favorite song and you're just jamming. So, all right, those are the chords. That's the intro. That is the first verse. We'll go through it twice for both. And then verse 1, we'll go through it 2 measures, actually 3 measures before we go into the chorus. And between the measures, there's some guitar going on, slide guitar, some licks, and so forth. But again, I've written it out, and you can see how all this fits together. All right? So we've got the verse down. Basically, what we got to get to is the chorus, the solo rhythm, which is basically the intro verse lick. And let's see, what do they do? The verse comes out. So yeah, we just got verse and chorus to really go through. All right, so the chorus is 2 measures long, and it's got four counts of E. Now, like you saw me in the intro, you know, watching those guys again in the lockdown video, some of the guys are just kind of jamming along, hammering on a little bit into the E chord. And then hammering in from the 2nd fret onto the 4th fret on the 5th and 4th strings. So really, because it's such a rudimentary chorus, if you will, just E and F sharp, you can really add some chords to jazz it up, okay? So we go through that for 2 measures, and then we're into the solo. And like I said, the solo is the verse rhythm. And then we're back into another chorus. So you got all the rhythm. So let's go through the licks, which there's lots of them. Most of them are very memorable. Okay, so we got the intro, and as we come into the 2nd measure of the intro, or the 3rd time through that set of chords, we got this. Now that is doubled, so we're on the 5th fret, that's an E note, all right? That is doubled. If you add 12 to 5, you got 17. All right, when I watched the, again, online video, I noticed Buck Dharma was sliding with his ring finger from 5 up to 7 and then pulling off. While the 3rd guitarist was up playing at 17. So really, it's your choice. I mean, it sounds great wherever there's an E note, and whether you bend it up and give it vibrato or slide in and pull off. So that's the first lick you'll hear, and that will be 4 times. All right, after that, we're going to hear a slide guitar come in. He's going to start with basically an A power chord. We'll be on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. We're going to hit that at the 2nd fret, slide up, medium speed, and then when we get to 14, don't stop, just hit it again and then reverse directions. And when you come back, it's slightly slower because you'll go all the way off. Okay, not the best way to do it, but you get the idea. That's what he's doing with the slide. That slide happens during the 1st measure of the verse. During the 2nd measure, we have a nice little lick up here at 17. During the 2nd measure of the verse, you'll hear this lick. All right, so what he's doing here, the very first part of the lick, is when the 2nd string at 17, we'll hit that twice, then we're going to hit it and bend it up, and then strike it twice more as we release it. Then 2 more, unbent. Then we jump to the 3rd string at 16, bend that up, and then we'll catch 14 on the 1st string. And then come back to 16 with a slight bend, and then hit 14. Land on 16 on the 4th string. Lay your finger down, catch 16 on the 3rd, back to 14. And end up with 16 twice on the 4th string. Kind of slide off. All right, so that whole lick together slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what he does when he slides down, this is a very quick lick. He's going to slide on the 4th string to the, 4th string 4th fret to 6, catching the 3rd string back at 4. And then he'll hit 6 on the 3rd string, pull off to 4 and slide that back to 2, landing on 4 on the 4th string. It's a real quick lick. And you hear him just hold that last 4th note. It's definitely there. And then, okay, we're into another measure of the verse chords, and we'll hear the second lick, if you will. I consider that the first lick that we just did, not the slide guitar or the intro lick. Okay, so lick 2 that we'll hear during the second half of the verse, first verse, is a real memorable one. It's right up here at the 14th fret. Alright, so what he's doing, hammering on for 14, 15, 16. You can play those notes if you're a shredder. But I'm just a mortal, so I wrote it out as hammer-ons. 14, 15, 16, 5th string, same on the 4th string. Then we're going to grab 14 on the 3rd with a slight bend. Then we're going to come back 14, 15, 16 on the 5th string. Then we come back to 14 on the 4th string, and then we'll hit it again and hammer on to 16. Then we catch 14 on the 3rd with a bend, and then 16 kind of slid down, but not too far, because we're going to come back and do what we did here with 5th and 4th string with hammer-ons. Then we come to the 3rd string, we're going to hammer on to 16 and pull back off, then come back down to 16 with a bent vibrato. And it's not too long, because then we're going to come back 16 to 14 pulled off twice. And then catch, that last 14's got a slight bend. And then we catch 14 on the 4, or 16 on the 4 to 14. Alright, that's the second lick. Again, written it out. It should be easy to follow along. Slow it down with riff station or whatever you got. But basically we're playing over E minor and F sharp minor. Pentatonic, like I said, hybrid. Okay, so first lick that you hear over the chorus. And that's over the first E. The next lick will kind of wait until they transition to the F sharp. So this first lick, we're going to pull off from the 1st string at the 3rd fret to 2, and then hit open, and then hit open again. Then we hit the open 2nd string. Then we come up to the 3rd string at the 2nd fret with a bend and release and pull off to open, landing on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Alright, then they transition to the F sharp, and you'll hear this. Alright, so what he's doing there, again, we're over the F sharp now, so he's hitting the 2nd fret of the 1st and 2nd string to the 3rd fret, 3rd string, 4th fret bent. Back to the 2s. Then we come back to the 3rd string at 4 with a bend and release to 2. Then we lay down on 4, catch the 4th fret of the 4th string and 5th string. And that lets us get to the 2nd fret of the 4th and 3rd string. We'll hit that twice before coming back to the 5th string at 4, and we'll do that twice. One more times. Then come to the third and second string, hit that together before we go to 4 on the third string, and then we'll bend 4 up, catching 2 on the first string, and then hitting 4 again, release slowly. Alright, you'll hear him slide down from 9. Again, we're coming back in the E. Now, after he slides down from the 9th fret of the 4th and 3rd string, he shortens the lick. We just hit the first open to the second open, and then do our bend and pull off from the 2nd fret of the 3rd string to open, landing on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Real typical blues lick. Alright, now we shift to F sharp, and you'll hear him do this. He's going to hit the 2nd fret on the 1st and 2nd string twice together, once, and then 4 times together. Then he'll hit 4 on the 3rd string. Then he moves up and changes positions. Basically, we're coming up here to the F sharp, but we're going to start in the position before 1. All right, so we're going to start like this. All right, I'll stop there. What we're doing is we're going to hit on the 6th string 14 to 12th fret on the 5th string, and then 14 slid up to 16. Then we come to the 4th string, hit 14, hammered onto 16, catching 14 on the 3rd string. Then we come back to 16, pulled off to 14. So far we have this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go to 16 on the 3rd string, bend, release, pull off to 14, and then we'll take off from 16, pulled off to 14 on the 4th fret. Alright, at that point you'll hear the next lick. Alright, he'll continue on from there, but basically what we're doing, 17th fret, 1st string, bend and release. Then we go to 14 on that 1st string, coming back to 17, pulled off to 14 twice. Come to 17 on the 2nd, back to 14 on the 1st, and then 17 pulled off to 14 twice on the 2nd. Then we come to the 3rd string, slight bend with 16, back to 14 on the 2nd string. Then he does a little pull off here. It'll be 17, 16 to 14, and then we'll pull off from 16 to 14 twice. And then we keep moving down the scale. We'll go to the 4th fret at 16, back to the 4th string at 16, back to the 3rd string at 14, coming back to the 4th string, 16 to 14, pulled off twice, landing on 16. Alright. Come back to the 14th fret of the 4th string, hit 16 on the 5th, slide to 14, and then 12. Then we pull off 2 more times, 14 to 12, and land on 14 on the 6th. Wow, that's a lot of notes. Alright, so I'm going to take it slow for you. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, at that point he moves up to the 2nd position, and you'll hear this. Alright, I'm going to stop there. He's going to hammer from 2 to 5 on the 6th string, and then 2, 3, 4 on the 5th and 4th string. Landing on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and then hitting the 2nd and 3rd string together. Alright, so we have this. that just for a second before he comes back with the next lick. Next lick will sound like this. Alright, so what we're doing is coming down from the first to second string, second fret with 4 bent on the third. Back to the first and second at the second fret. Then we come to the 4th fret of the third string with a bend and release pull off to 2, and then 2 sets of 4 to 2 pull offs. Landing on 4 on the 4th string. Then we come back to the first and second at 2. To the 4th fret of the third string, bent, and then the second time it will be pulled off to 2 twice. Landing on 4 on the 4th. Now one more time. So we're hitting 2 on the first and second to 4 bent, and then 4 pulled off to 2. And then we land and finish this off on the 4th fret of the 4th string, 4 hits. Okay, again, a lot of notes. Let's go through it slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, now we're going to move to another position. Okay, so the next lick you'll hear is a little bit different, but again, he's just kind of soloing around. We're going to come up to the, basically the 10th position, 9th position. Alright, we're going to be on the 3rd string, hitting 11. Then we're going to take 11, bend and release, and pull it off to 9. Then we're going to take 12 on the 2nd string, bend, release, pull off to 10. Then we quickly move back to the 2nd and 3rd string at 2, hitting those together to 4 on the 4th string. Then we'll hit them twice together and then to the 4, and then twice one more time. Alright, so it'll sound like this. That last 2 leads you into the 3rd string, 4th fret, bend, release, and pull off to 2. Landing on the 4th fret of the 4th string and slid up. Alright, so all together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, at that point, this is kind of a memorable lick. What we're going to do is go on the 4th string. After we slide up from the 4th string at 4, we're going to come to 16 and pull off to 14. We'll do that 4 times. Then we come to the 2nd fret string, I should say. So we're skipping the 3rd string, and we're going to pull off 17 to 14, but twice. All right. It does continue, but your ear kind of hears it. Alright, so what he's doing, again, let's start from the 16 to 14, 4 pull-offs. Then he's just hitting 17 bent and released, alright? He's going to do that a total of 8 times. Alright, so that's the difference. Check it out. I mean, it's really a cool lick. There are a couple licks, and we got one coming up with this second chorus. Okay, that's all of the solo. In the chorus, the second lick, I just absolutely love. I think it's so different, but it fits the song. All right, chorus 2, the licks under that. We're going to start out with our over the E. All right, we're pulling off 3 to 2 again to open on the 1st string, hitting the 2nd string open. 3rd string, 2nd fret, bent, release, pulled off to open, landing on 2 on the 4th string. Alright, now this next lick is just excellent. So you'll hear it come in when they move to the F sharp. Alright, really arpeggiated, really nicely played, much nicer than I played it. But again, it's one of those, you practice it, you'll be able to nail it. We're going to start out 14th position. We're going to start out on the first string, 16 bent release. Then come 14 to 17 on the second string, and then pull off 16 to 14. Then we'll come and walk down from 17, 16 to 14 on the third string. Taking 16 again, but hammered into 17 and then back to 15. Then quickly come to 16 on the fourth string and 16 on the fifth string. Then we're going to walk down from 16, 15, 14, slid to 13. When we get to 13, we're going to hit 16 on the fourth. All right. Then we're going to do this really nice run. It's 14 on the sixth string to 13, 16 on the fifth string to 14 on the fourth and then 13 on the third. Alright. Then we jump quickly to 14 on the first string and then hit 16 bent, and then we'll bend it again and release and pull off to 14. Then we come to 17 pulled off to 14 on the second string, landing on 16 bent with vibrato. Alright, so that whole lick together slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just a really cool lick, and trust me, your ears will pick it up now that you know it, and once you work on it slowly, work on that slowly and build it up to speed. Last note is just, last lick I should say of this chorus, we're back to E. We know that lick, and then we're going to do something a little different from there. Okay, so this next riff happens just before the bass break. Alright, and we'll be up here at the 14th position again, and we'll do this. Alright, so it's really not a per se memorable lick, but what he's doing is second string at 17 and then third string at 16. We'll bend those together, give it some vibrato, and then hit 16 again, pulled off to 14. Then hit 16 and 17 together before we go to 14 with a slight bend. Then we come to 16 on the fourth string, pulled off to 14, back to 16 on the fourth, and 14 on the third. Then we come back 16, 14, 16, fourth string with another 16, 14 pulled off. Come to 14 on the third, back to 16, 16 again, pulled off to 14, back to 16. And then we're gonna, the last few licks of the measure will be 16 to 14 fourth, then third string, back to 16, 14, 16. Alright, so all together, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're into the bass break, and then another real memorable lick. Matter of fact, when I watched their lockdown video, they all did it together, which I thought was great. The bass, all the guitars, it was really cool. After the bass break, we got this famous lick. Alright, what we're doing there is on the 4th string, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to catch the 3rd string at the 2nd fret with a slight pull down, landing back on the 4th string at 4, and then going to the 5th string at 4. Then we come 2, 3, 4, but we'll hit 4 twice. So it's almost a call and answer. It really is. Now we're going to go 4, 2, 3, and then bend down 2, back to just 4, 2 on the 4th string. Then walk down 4, 3, 2 on the 5th string to open E. Alright, so all together, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're into the chorus. So the first chorus, 3 lick you'll hear over E, again hybrid pentatonic. So basically we're hitting the 3rd string 14 bent, and we'll do that twice, and then we're going to bend it, release, and pull off to 12. Landing on 14 on the 4th string with vibrato. Then we shift positions, okay? Now we move up to F sharp in the chorus, and you'll hear this. Alright, so basically we're going to take the 14th fret 3rd string, bend it up, then a bent and release. Then we come to 16 bent and 16 unbent to 14. To 16 3 times on the 4th string. Back to 14 on the 3rd and 16 twice to end this part. Alright, the next measure, which will continue on, will be here at the still at this 14th position. Alright, so we're taking the 3rd string, 16 bent, and again, and then 16, 14 unbent. Then we go 16, 14 back to 16 twice on the 4th string. Then we land on the 3rd string, 14 back to 16, 15, 14 on the 4th. Alright, and then you'll hear them hit the 12th fret. This again, we're back to E. Then he moves it to 10. Then 7. Then he takes off from that 7th fret. Alright, so we're hitting 12 on the 1st string to open twice. 10th fret of the 1st string to open twice. 7th fret to open 3 times. Then we hit 7 on the 2nd string bent to 5. And land on 6 twice on the 3rd string. Then you'll hear him hit open twice on the 1st and 2nd string back to 6. Open once and then 9. Alright, it's kind of a weird lick, but it's in there, so again, this is why I say you can improvise and do your own thing over it. So the last lick we'll hear will begin at 14th fret and will sound like this. Alright, so what we're doing there is on the 4th string at 16, catching the 3rd string at 14, slight bend, and then back to 16 on the 4th for 5 hits. Then we walk down chromatically 15, 14. Then we come to the 3rd string, 16 bent, 16 unbent to 14, 16. Catch scratch, 14 on, or I'm sorry, 16 on the 4th, then 14, 16, 14 on the 3rd string, back to 16, and then 17 hit, and then 17 bent with vibrato. And that's all of the song and all the licks you'll hear. Like I said, I've written it out. It's really a fun song to play with. I hope you guys enjoyed.